All right, hello everybody. This is my challenge for lesson 5. So for the challenge, we are to do a project based on our favorite food. So first, I am going to find my background image. Oops. And I'm going to drag it on so we have that to start with. And then I'm going to go ahead and get into my favorite foods. So I chose cheeseburgers. So I'm going to go and bring them up so they have their own separate tabs. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now that I have my background ready to go, what I'm going to do is click in my first cheeseburger image that I want to drag over. And I'm going to drag it from this area here, bring it into this tab, and let it go. Then pressing Control T, I can move it around and change its size. So I'm going to make it about that, click a check mark, and then I'm going to go over to the marquee tool. So now I'm going to basically just carve out the area that I want for the cheeseburger. Do that. And then over here, I'm going to select create a new layer. Making sure that I go into the move tool so I don't create another marquee. Now that it is linked in the layer, I can move this image around for wherever I want it to be. If I were to unlink it, then I can move this around to maybe incorporate more something over here, or like that. I like that image there. And now linking it back, I can move this back to where I wanted it to be. And so we're just going to go ahead and do that for the next 2 images. Control T, getting it sized a little bit more, and then pressing the marquee tool. I'm going to try to get around the same size as the last one I did. And again, pressing create new layer, making sure to click the move tool, moving that to where I want it to be. And for this one, I do want to change the aspect of it a little bit more like that. Okay, and then linking it again and dragging it to the middle where I want it. And then lastly, for the third image, dragging it into the background layer. Control T to resize. And using the marquee tool. And create new layer. Using the move tool to move it. And going back other layers to kind of move them out of the way, making sure that I click on each one individually. I'm actually going to go into the first layer again and click Control T and resize that because it's just a little too big and kind of in the way. Okay, and then we're going to go and resize the next one. Control T. And to the last one, Control T. Trying the best I can to make them all same-ish size. Control T to resize, of course. All right, that's probably as good as I'll get. And just going into the middle one and moving it over just a little bit. Okay, so now that we have all of our images moved over and created little alcoves for them, we are going to create a copy of the background. and turning off these for now. We're going to go into Channels, Control, RGB, and that's selecting an area that the colors will be changing. So if we go back to the layers, clicking this little half circle there, and I'm going to do solid color and go into blue. And see, kind of is just filling in what we selected. I'm going to do blue color. That's good. And then we're going to duplicate it again. And again, going into this tool, decided I wanted to do a pattern. So you could do a solid color, but I decided that I wanted to do a pattern fill. And you can kind of choose whatever you want. They're just a little bit more textured than just changing to a different color. I like this one. Okay, clicking OK. And then I'm going to re-add our cheeseburger images. And once again, I'm going to resize this first one just a little bit. Okay. And so for these, if you double click, you get this kind of option to pop up, and we're going to go into drop shadow, and it's going to be shown on the third one here. And you can kind of change the angle at which the shadow falls, create distance. It can go out more, spread more, and that also changes the opacity of it. I want it to be pretty, just a light shadow. And then you can also change the size, which I also like to keep a little down. Clicking OK. And now, because I'm not sure really what the exact dimensions I used for that, so what you can do is click Alt, click your FX, and move it down so that it copies into all of the images. So just some final touches. I want to move that over a little bit so it's more centered. Move that down to match the other one. Making sure that's what I want it to look like. And then we're going to go ahead and File, Save As, and Challenge 5. Save it as a Photoshop. Okay. And then File, Save As. And save it as a JPEG. Challenge 5. All right, I hope you all found this video to be informational. Maybe it helped you figure out a little bit more about adding layer masks and being able to apply these features.